Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Chat has spoken 2 times. First, that we're playing Kaldheim, and second, that we're going to do a premier draft. Maybe we'll, I don't know, what's our rank? We closing in on Diamond? I don't know. We'll see. Been having a pretty good run lately, winning more than we're losing at least. And the really rough stretch I had a few weeks ago is feeling a little more in the rear view. And I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the set. I still feel it's the snow stuff makes it so hard. I'm still never sure quite when I'm supposed to be taking snow lands over powerful snow stuff. I had a draft on our side account yesterday off air that I totally failed to prioritize snow properly, and it ended up really punishing me. And I had some good snow payoffs, but I'm like I have like 3 snow lands and a way to like search them up, and I got like 2 pillars, that kind of thing. So it ended up turning into like a splash snow situation when I was trying to be more heavy snow, and I'm sure I screwed up the draft. I know that I clearly took, I think part of it was it's when you're starting in snow, like what happened was I got some early snow payoffs, and then in the middle of pack 1 it started to look like Boros was open, like Boros aggro, and so in the middle of pack 1, instead of some basic snow lands that maybe would have seen play, I hedged toward Boros, then didn't end up there, but then the missing those mid-pack 1 land picks really messed me, and I haven't even finished that draft yet, and it's one of those things it's all going to be about how well I draw my snow. If I find the snow that I do have, the deck will be great. If I miss on it, it's going to fall apart, and I told myself, if it falls apart, Ryan, it's on you, don't get mad, right? So I'm trying to pre-manage my tilt on that one. If you want to pre-manage your tilt on a retail Magic experience, you can just stick with Card Kingdom. They're not going to tilt you. They're going to get you exactly what you want extremely quickly at a reasonable price, backed by incredible customer service. There's not much better for that in the Magic world. I mean, there's the incredible buy list. I talk about that all the time. Just remember, if you're ever selling your cardboard and you want to make it quick, nobody's going to give you more money for your cardboard than Card Kingdom. I have not found anybody. You can find cards here and there, but on average, if you're just going to lump all your cards to one place, I just guarantee. I shouldn't say guarantee, because then how am I backing it up? But I'll say I just have never even come close to finding anyone who has matched buy prices on a big lot of cards than Card Kingdom. They just have the best. So, and then if you get store credit 30%, you'll actually have inventory to spend it on too, which is another nice benefit of that. So check them out via my affiliate links, and please do that in the panels down below, in the YouTube notes, in the video notes, and that lets them know you got there from here. It helps keep me on the air. That'd be very kind of you. I'm going to keep using gems to enter, and let's pop in and get into draft mode here. See how long the wait is today. Jim says, not Rakdos. Oh, and Jim, that reminds me, like I was talking about how I see things people say after when I'm cutting video that I missed at the time. And Jim was wondering why I was telling people while I was saying to not draft a set once you have 4X, once you're getting gems out of the prize packs, to move your drafting of that format to a side account. And Jim was wondering why I would recommend that, given that like free gems, isn't that the ultimate, right? I'll speak to that in a little bit, but remind me later, Jim, and I'll talk to that for a second. Interesting opening pick here. We take Runeforge to try to have some fun. Heck, maybe we wheel the plow and we just start putting runes on plows. I don't know. I think the grown-up pick is probably Packmate or the even the Highland Forest, but I think it's Runeforge Champ for the speculative build-around, or Packmate as just the solid top common question mark, best common. So Plow, you coward. When's the last time you first picked Plow, you coward? Tell me, can you please link me to all of your first pick plows, coward? I'm gonna take Champ, and we'll see if this pays off. No guarantees, but why not? Let's try something else. Another Plow. We can also try and wheel. How about a Batter Shield Warrior to follow up, or Frostbite or Run Amok? Not going to prioritize Plows. If they come around, fine. We can even explore that, but I'm just not going to prioritize them. If they come around, we'll do it. If they're not coming around, somebody else can do it. So, Warrior, yeah, you like the Run Amok. The thing, Warrior stays on one color. And yeah, but also, how often are we pairing white with something other than red when we're heading in this direction? But I'm going to take the Warrior. I think it's good enough to stay one color. And we're going to get Warrior City here. We can take Pretender ahead of all these white Warriors. Sculptor of Winter, Glade. You know, there's some interesting green still going around here. Note the lack of red in this pack. That's true, Pablo. You can get up white-green, especially if you get the uncommon gold payoff, right? That's where I've had great white-green aggro. I don't know if I've had white-green aggro outside of landing a Maya. Yeah, thanks, Rach. I'm going to take Pretender over the Bloodski. Or, hey, here we go. We get a rune now. Look at this late Svella. Man, if we'd started with the Pack Beast, we'd have a sweet snow thing going. But I like where we're headed. Let's do this. This is exactly the rune for us. Another rune. Look at this beautiful snow deck going by, though. Kind of makes me sad. But I'm not sad about kind of doing cool stuff here. We could even take the Shieldmate, or like, we don't need the Rune of Speed. It's not a high priority rune. Radiant wants the rune. I'm kind of on Shieldmate. This deck needs 2s, and we don't have them yet. I mean, it's only 4 picks in, so I'm not panicking. But I mean, we do just want to lock up a lot of low drops for this deck. I'm taking Shieldmate. I think it's more important. And actually, Rune of Speed, you know, we do have the champ, so we're kind of trying to do this thing, but this could legit wheel. And I really like the Shieldmate. It might wheel too, honestly. If nobody's in white, these go late as well. Now we're getting put to the test because we saw 2 plows. We could take this plow, knowing that there are 2 more coming. I kind of just want to breakneck Berserker, but we'll take the plow now. I think the meme, like, if we wheel the other 2 plows, we just have to do this. Pablo wants the pup, and honestly, Pablo, the grown-up thing, if I were at the day 2 of a GP or whatever, I'd not be taking plow here. But, you know, for us on stream today, we're taking the plow. Especially because there's 2 more in the pack. We know that they might wheel. There's 2 more that might wheel. And take Provoke here, or we take Warhorn Blast and stay one color, but we'll get as many of these as we want. Divine Gambit is fair too. This is playable. But Provoke, I think a little better. But I'll take the Gambit. Whatever, let's stay one color. East says it's easy. I don't think it's easy just because... Okay, so Plow number... Oh, no, this is pick 8. I was going to say Plow number 1 didn't wheel, but that's not this pack. I'm going to take Cavalry here over Walker. I think if we end up Boros... I think Boros is more likely place to land than not. And here's Plow number 2. Plow number 3. Now we're doing it. Now we're doing it. But I told you, I was not going to take these. We're pick one-ing plows. Mob. We'll take a mob. Mobu. Kennel Master is also an alternative. I'll take Kennel Master. I'm not sure what our second color is, but I like Kennel Master a little better than the mob here. But yeah, right. Now that we got 3 copies of the uncommon, we'll not see any of the common, right? Also want to figure out, like, what can we do so that this just doesn't die to three power creatures, 3 power blockers? What are we going to do to protect our plow? First strike, combat tricks, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, Ox is the, like, I mean, we have 3 plows. Ox is, we probably don't even want to risk not wheeling it. I'll take Skull Raid here. I don't think we want to play either of those. Hey, look, the rune did come back around. That's cool. Probably means we're just going to cut the black. I know, GYZ, that's why I'm saying, like, it's not enough that we get plows and oxes. We then need to also figure out how the plow doesn't die when we attack with it. Rune of Flight would be good for that purpose. What do we got here? Nothing much for our deck, unfortunately. Looks like a Frostbite. Opening pick Frostbite. Blah. Braggart is not good enough to take here. So I will take the removal spell over the red 2-drop. And the white 4-drop. Rob wants the Braggart. I bet we wheel it. We don't need a ton of Braggarts. I would play multiple Frostbites. Not too many, though. Hey, and then we get really paid off with a bomb. It's no Ox, but we're going to take that. That's one way to protect our plows. Put some counters on them. I'm not going to play any of these if we don't get some Oxen, though. Gifts like the black one, yeah, that would be a good solution in black. Squash, Rune of Might, that, you know, if you have the champ out, you can cast all these for free, basically, but I still don't want to prioritize. We'll just take Ravager. You'll come down, count some warriors, and pick something off. Sometimes like another way I mess this card up is thinking to myself, well, I don't have that many giants, right? But it's not looking for giants. It's looking for the most that you have, right? So Herald Unites the Elves is interesting for the elf deck, but we're going to take another Rune of Sustenance. Yeah, where are our Oxen? This is an outrage. Take the white rune, hope we wheel a Seeker or a Cav. Ox, we found an Ox, but there's a freaking Demon Bolt and a Forging, which we found is not even that good. Coal? How do we not take a Coal? Look, we got Coal, Bolt, and Ox. Don't we have to try to wheel the Ox? It's got to be Coal or Demon Bolt. So what do you think between Coal or Demon Bolt? We don't have equipment yet. We have some interaction. We have interaction. I'm taking Coal. Taking Coal. You can't stop me. I want this. I want this. I want this. Look at this. We're kind of in the right place. What do you think? Onslaught was what I was talking about for saving plows, but Valk Sword is pretty tempting. Yeah, with the 3 runes, yeah, I guess Wings is arguable because the runes can go on it early, but I'm taking the sword. It's the Tron says wings is better. I'm taking the sword. It gives us some top end. I love what the table's telling us, though. Looks like we're in the right place. Story Seeker here is very good. I mean, you don't have any oxen yet, but I don't care. Like, I'll cut these plows, and then we have a nice deck sitting behind. How about Braggart here over the Raider? I want to be as heavy white as I can, really. So I like Braggart here. And we're doing pretty good on 2, even without the plows. But Helms and Picks, yes, are high priority now. I don't think we're going to get there on, like, 3 snow sources for the Frostbite. Snow permanence, but may as well. Longboat, I'm going to throw to the board. Here, I'm going to throw these plows to the board, and then that will make oxen show up. Because the magic gods love making me undo my cuts. So simply by putting those into our sideboard, the magic gods will say, up, up. Rune of Speed for another 4th rune. Or Goldmaw Champ. I'm going to go with 4th rune. True says creature. I'm going to do the thing that we kind of have going here, and we'll get some more... And there's the ox that came back. Wow, people are off of white-black, huh? Coal... Enchanted or equipped, yeah. So, at the very least, the runes work even without the equipment. We got a Doomscar, we got an Onslaught, and we got Arnie. Arnie's rare, and is good, you know, but it's a 3/3 haste. It's just good, not great, not broken, not busted, just good, just good. And then we've got the Onslaught and the Titan that are also good. You know, these are of similar power level, really. So then... But let's look at our count. Yeah, we're a little high on non-creatures, given all the runes we've taken. Let's take Arnie as a 3-drop. I also just like that this is a nice lower curve card. So that's what I wanted, creature, and I wanted lower curve. Oh, wow. Now we got a Demon Bolt and a on-color duel, but Cosmos Elixir. This might be the deck that doesn't want this. This is like at its worst in this kind of deck, but it's still good. But we could also just take the Bolt and say, this is great in this deck. I mean, this is a bit nutty, but I'm going to take the Bolt over the Elixir. This is a great spell, but it's really excellent against us and just medium for us. So I'm going to take Interaction. That's true. I mean, Freighter says, you know, if you're the beatdown, you're going to be at a high enough life total where you're just going to be drawing cards. And yes, that happens a lot. But it's not every time. I don't know. I don't know what the supercomputer would say. Squash doesn't really have giants or even... we got the 1 giant and 1 shapeshifter, it looks like, in the Pretender, but that's not really enough to turn Squash into a powerful spell. So maybe we just want the Braggart or the Guardian. But I'm going to, given that we have Bloodline Pretender, I'm going to keep picking up Warriors when I have a choice between the two. So I'm going to take Braggart here. Yeah, oddly no equipment. Like, I know we've had I know we've passed it here and there, but more than, it's just kind of not been there. I think we need to run amok over the pup here, but it's close. Because we still need creatures. And the oxen have just been absent. I mean, how do we get a draft that gives us 1 ox and 3 of the stupid plows? Oh well. I'll take Run Amok. Maybe we'll wheel the pup anyway. It's not going to go into... yeah, Sword is technically a creature. Here we go. Now we're talking. That's a creature that makes creatures, and there's nothing better for us here. Wouldn't mind a Hulk, but Liberator get in our deck. Very late Behold. Taking a squash here, though, and wow, we just completely missed on equipment. I mean, we passed a Helm and we passed Wings, but I don't even remember seeing a pick. We are mega whiffing on equipment, but Cole does work with auras. The problem with auras, of course, is you can't, quote, re-equip them, right? With Cole and equipment, you can just keep re-equipping and do it again and again and again. But, and to be fair, one of the wings I passed, though, was for our one piece of equipment, which is the sword. So this could be a deck where we actually play the sword for 2. A lot more than we do in some other decks. Interesting final fresh pack here, but we let no equipment, no other equipment besides the sword. That being said, we can take Courser. Courser plus Runeforge is free runes. Story Seeker. Well, I took Courser, I guess. Onslaught came back. We'll take that. That's not a bad pickup, although do we need creatures more? Probably need creatures, but we're doing okay there. I'm going to take the Onslaught. No Oxen, though. Kind of, oh, wow, how lucky for us. That's great. There is a rune. You can play off-color runes when you got the champ, but there's no need here. We'll just take the wings and be happy that it came back. Invoke is a possible include, but probably not. Take some Vault Progress. Craven Hulk even came back for us. Great. We got some cuts to make. Nice. Treachery is playable. Maybe it's technically playable, but not in this deck. I mean, I think we have way too many better options. So we tried, but looks like we are not going to do the plow thing. You know, when you end up, when you're 11 picks into pack 1 with 3 plows, you think you're going to get there, and then you just don't. Why? I hate this card. It's a lot of work to duplicate a spell. Well, it's great with the instance I have. I mean, it becomes a removal spell if we find our other removal spells. But if you don't have your removal spells, it's nothing. And I don't like the floor of nothing. The floor of nothing is too harsh. And the double red, no kidding. Although Fortell says you can do it for a single red. So the double red is not that big a deal. It's more the fact that it's a stone blank unless you've got your other removal. Yeah, I guess if I had... See, that's the thing. If I had like 7 instants or sorceries I like, maybe you'd run it. But at that point, why do you need to? You've got 7 good instants and sorceries. I don't know. Yeah, Quad Strike would be funny. But we will see about overall numbers here. Ox, sorry. You can go hang out with your plow in the sideboard. 15, 14. Kind of got to do our runes, got to do our equips, got to do our showdown. Kind of makes me want to cut squash. Yeah, we are going to be 16 land for sure. You can do that. And yeah, maybe a Braggart off the top. And a Gambit. Well, this is best of one, so we're not going to be bringing a gambit in. Yeah, we don't really need a snow mountain. It's true. We don't have any other. We don't even have a possibility of turning this into 3. But let's do it this way here. So removal. Oh, come on. This is kind of our, I'm going to do our interaction column, our equipment. Here's our interaction column, our equipment column, and our card draw. We got to make 2 cuts. Not keen on going too much lower on creatures here. We have a go wide type card. And I think that means we have to start taking the least impressive of this stuff. I could cut 1 rune of speed, I suppose. I'm not going to cut the equipment when we're doing coal and rune stuff. That just seems wrong to cut any equipment here when we have coal. I hear you. I'm not saying the sword is amazing, but we do have a courser that could make this 6 mana play to get the angel. And we also, yeah, so it's like looking like our worst removal is either bite with no chance at snow, or the combat, like an onslaught or a run amok. I don't think we can cut straight up, reach out, and get rid of a thing of this quality. Frostbite is that, but not as good. So I guess we cut. Yeah, I guess I'll cut the bite. It's the one that could just have decks where it doesn't hit anything. I love bite in best of 3, or love is strong. I mean, I really appreciate bite in best of 3 because you can choose when it's good and when it's not. Interesting. You think bite is significantly better than run amok? I have most people on run amok over bite. The trample being huge. So, yeah, I think it's interesting, True. I feel like you're significantly against conventional wisdom with your bite way over run amok opinion. At the very least, they should be pretty close. Yeah, run amok is a dead card on defense, and that's the real problem with it. The floor is just awful. But if you're aggressive and you're trying, you know, if we're on defense, we're kind of losing anyway. So I think the run amok is still good here because we just need to be on offense. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing. How many warriors do we have? Were we just heavy warriors? Not as much as I thought, actually. We could be as successful naming dwarf as we are a warrior in this deck, but we're still going to run the shapeshifter. It's not great, but it's good enough. And we had, what was the, I'll look up the lands, but cut those, bottom that. Okay, wait, there. Oh, invisible UI. Where it's invisible UI time. Kitty cat. Sleeves and Zendikar full art lands. All right. There's one. Doing it blind. All right, let's hit done and come back in and see if it can fix itself. You like Hulk? You like second braggart over Hulk? Yeah, it's probably right given the warrior count. I like it. Good call. Especially since I cut the squash. I like it. We'll do that. And cut one of these. And then we have ourselves a deck, except no name. That was just the auto suggestion always does 17, that's all. And what are we calling this? We found the right lane. We are looking to play the showdown. Arnie, Cole, maybe a Cole pun. Cold, in cold blood. Yeah, yeah, the no plows. Well, we got all the plows. It's the lack of oxen, right? Where's the beef? How about that? I know oxen aren't technically beef, but, you know, it's like... if we had more cows, we could have done the thing. All right, where's the beef? Let me get this entered in for the day. We're going to be white, red, no gold spent, 1,500 gems. We don't know the prize yet, 60 on the grind. And where's the beef? Is the name. A lot of you youngsters might not know the reference at all. All you olds know exactly what that reference is. There was a famous Wendy's commercial in the 80s that had the punchline, "Where's the beef?" And it became a political slogan. It became a catchphrase of the time. But the thing is, I lived in India at the time when this commercial was all the thing. It was in the mid-'80s, early mid-'80s, and I was in India from 83 to 85 with like no access to American culture, really. I missed the whole thing. Like, to me, I never saw Where's the Beef live on TV. I saw a video of it after the fact or whatever, but India is not famous for its burger joints. Oh, there's plenty of beef. In India, the answer to "Where's the beef?" was like walking down the road. Stopping traffic is where the beef is in India. All right.
Behold! Whoa! Hell yes, whoa!
Hell yes, behold this deck. It's going to be good. But how good? You tell me. Oh, is chill on as well? I better turn that off then. Thank you. I only saw... I don't hear audio on memes. I only see the video. So the chill was hiding behind it there. Nice. On the play with Liberator. We didn't really get any 1-drops. That's what this deck is missing. We would have liked some pups and raptors, but we'll try and make do here. Yeah, right. It needs helms, picks, and 1-drops, right? That's really what this deck is missing. It's got some tools to go the distance, but I'd like it to be a little lower down than it is. Next turn, we're going to have to decide Liberator, Activation, or Arnie. Somewhat might depend on Oppo's play here. So it's interesting. I think we go ahead and send in the Liberator and offer, and then activate. And then we can go Braggart and follow eventually with the Broken Bra. True wants Arnie. I like this. Because it also puts them to like, are you just going to sit here and let me make tokens? We can also just let this trade happen and say we'll trade Liberator for Sculptor, accept that, and just drop Arnie. But I don't know. We should just make hay. Outrider. They're not going to block the 2-1 here. So I'm going to go ahead. We could also Cole and Rune, but I like Braggart, and the next turn we have Arnie Cole. Sorry, CBL not up. There's a restart last night. On it now. Yeah, exactly. That's why. I mean, I just was literally looking at my mana options that we could have technically cast these spells, but we really want Rune on something to bring back. That's an interesting send from the Outrider. I'm willing to race here. It's be an interesting trade, but I'm down for racing. Ravager gives us a dead Outrider, and that doesn't leave us anything. We don't get to boast the Braggart, but I do like just go ahead and Ravager the Outrider, get it dead. This is this is a Berserker. I was just thinking I had Endless Warriors. I don't. So we'll save the Ravager for next turn then, because none of these match, right? Dwarf Warrior. Oh, Dwarf. Double Dwarf. Sorry. This stupid card. This is the homework. This is the thing that makes this set the homework set, right? Ugh, God. Anyway, so we'll do that. And there's nothing else to play, but I do want to get that Outrider dead. And then we're going to offer the Braggart. No, we didn't find the cows, D. 3 plows and 1 ox.
Oh no, please!
Oh, I missed the cat sleeve. Sorry, I just marked that as complete, but I totally forgot to actually change the sleeves. Help me remember so I don't steal channel points from Queen. Oh, sorry, Oppo. Also getting distracted by my other stuff.
Mr. Plow!
Oh, Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
We have a pretty great deck to handle Tegrid's Lantern. We're just going to lose 3 life, and then we're going to gain life back. I mean, this is as best as I've ever felt against a Lantern, I'll say that. So we're going to play out the hand. Oh, we can't play it literally out, but I do like Arnie and Rune on Ravager, and then pump Arnie. All seems good. Cole, nah, we're just gonna get, I'm gonna go for biggest sitch possible here. You like Rune on Arnie? I like Rune on Ravager, but because if we get Cole down and Ravager dies, we get Ravager back in hand. Summoning Sick Priest is not going to be good enough here. Yeah, not often you can say that Lantern is not great and that Path is not great, but this is what the Fun Police do, right? They take extremely powerful cards and make them not great by changing the texture and pace of the game. Funny. So let's go Cole. Rune on Cole. We could also go Cavalry, Rune on Cavalry. I like that. Then Cole doesn't have to be at risk. Oh yeah, I should have played the land, sorry. But, I mean, they were dead, so that's kind of why I sped through that. I didn't see how they even stopped that with or without the land. Yeah, I get it, but we won. We were gonna, like, there was nothing there. Boast or no boast, how do they win? How do they even live?
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Ooh, and let's get those sleeves before I forget. Thank you, Prof. But I actually remembered on my own. That's the only kitty we have, right? Is there any other kitties I need to consider? Got doggy. All right, that's the only kitty. You think we just are going to crush all the snow? Oh, we'll see. Sometimes, I mean, snow can get there. They go on the play, sculptor into glittering frost into control elements. We could just have the brakes slammed on us. We're going to keep this. Currently, I'm willing to go sword on 2, pretender on warrior on 3, and then rune up the sword or bind something. But this is all very cheap. Well played, Hat. Well played. I don't often just run the sword out there, but with a Rune of Speed in hand and with this deck's curve, I like it here. Yeah, Arnie on 3 now is going to be better than Pretender. Although we could Pretender first, so... Oh, it's a Human Berserker. We're going to put this on Warrior anyway, so Arnie's not even going to trigger our Pretender, so that's why... that's why Mike is down for running this out there. And I agree. But if we were going to name an Arnie type with Pretender, I would run the Pretender out first. The reason we have Braggart over Craven Hulk is because Pretender is going to need Warrior, and we have no squashes that we're trying to make cheap with the Hulk. They're very similar in power here, Prof, because of that. But without the Bloodline Pretender, I probably go ahead and run the Giant. But the Bloodline Pretender is enough for me. They're never blocking, and I don't want to bind that in gold because it doesn't actually stop it from working, doing its thing. We could Rune of Speed up the sword here, and then... Yeah, they're not going to block. I'm just making sure we don't have to do anything. We don't want to do anything first. So, yeah, we can't Rune and equip. I'm going to go ahead and... We're going to play this land... and send in for the with the double strike up, and then just drop Pretender and pass. We could foretell this, but no, we're gonna do this. We could foretell and put a rune on the sword. That's like the only other thing we could do here. And that's not the worst, but we can't... It doesn't give us an attacker next turn. I'm gonna go ahead and play the reason to consider doing it the other way is mana efficiency. Yeah, if we get one more mana, we can Rune on the sword and equip and haste. Not that there's anything to haste, but we could even just equip this. But I would like to get Rune on it if possible. Yeah, but we don't have anything that that needs hate. Like, we don't have any creatures. Like, I guess we could draw... Like, there's no sequence where we draw something that then... Interesting. Couple of... Now we got a rune on the sword just to look for land. And yeah, we could bind that, but we can also just block it next turn. I'm going to go for the rune. It's not a free block forever. It has to attack. Radiantware's gotta read. Radiantware's gotta read. All right, we found our land. And let's see, if we throw this as a... Throw this on Arnie, we get a 5/4. And if they double... They have a double block there, though, so that's not even that good. I think we actually either bind... I think we just play Warrior. Yeah, they just bounce off. There's nothing to attack here, so we'll do that. Yeah, this is not the best bind target, but it's why this type of aura removal is not the best, right? It's at its best in aggro, where the fact that they get to stick it or keep it around for their triggered text or you know, wait till they find a naturalize effect. But if you're in aggro, at least you're not giving them a lot of time to get themselves out of it. But in this case, you know, we see exactly why these types of removal spells are less optimal. Clever. Well, that's one way to make it so that I can't just bounce off it forever. But they're going to get one card, and then we're going to bind it. Although we can bind this too. We could just let it, you know, again, they can die with 7 cards as we kill them. That's fine. We've got Onslaught, we've got Arnie, we've got Equip. So we're just going to race. We may need to bind the Reaper and actually be able to attack. So 5 total mana. We can equip the sword and foretell Onslaught. We can't, and the boast here is 2, so we can even equip and threaten boast. But we can bind, and then we can't boast. We can make Arnie big, though. So I guess we bind and foretell, and then we have Arnie pump. Yeah, we can Kaya, that's true. We can also just Kaya if they block with the Reaper, and it all... Yeah, mana's the issue. Like, if we had 2 white, we could boast and Kaya. Trouble is, if they block the Warrior with the Reaper, we don't get what we want. So yeah, I don't see attacking with that. But what do you like here then, Mike? Foretell and what? Foretell and bind? Let's start with a foretell of the Onslaught to give us some clock time. I'm down to 0. And then, what are we binding? I guess we're going to bind the Reaper. And then, we can even... We could offer one of these. Yeah, now we attack all, right? Now we say, which one do you want to trade for? They can have any of these, and it's okay. But we got to get in there. Wow, okay, are we dead? Are we dead from 18? Bold take there from Oppo. Sweeper? Blood on the Snow? Blood on the Snow would be incredible, because it won't kill... Totsky, there we go. All right, that explains why they felt they could get there on Lindy. The strength of Lindy. Now, Onslaught. Equip, send, plus Onslaught is like either chump with your Outrider or your worm, or you're going to lose. So we could just do that. Don't have enough mana to do all. I guess we could boast Arnie and Onslaught, but that means where do we? So we put Sword on Pretender and send both. Can you even send the warrior? Like, if they want to spend any of their resources on blocking the warrior, that's probably good for us. So I'm going to just send, hoping they take one of the two big ones, because then if they use anything to take the warrior, we just win, right? So this is a good, a pretty good spot for us. Let's see what they want to do. They need to put the Outrider on Arnie, or we can pump Arnie and Onslaught it. But that's a lot to figure out. I mean, they could literally play around the Onslaught. We do have it foretold. If they make the right play and put out... Okay, so instead we just win? That'd be great. Give it to us. All right. We got there, gang. All right. Oh, I didn't update the record the first time. We're 2-0, right? Yeah, that's one that slipped away from them, right? I'll save it for the next time we play a warrior. Hey, not bad. Good to get a rune champ, a rune from the champ here. And it's a nice turn 4, because so what we're going to do here is Pretender on Warrior on 3, and then Champ finding a 1-mana rune on 4. And now we have a turn 2 play in at least the foretelling of the Onslaught. Story Seeker off the top would be great, though. Yeah, I'll take that, if offered. No, no, no. We were talking about me, not you, Oppo. Hold on there, buddy. We could sword this up. Sword or Onslaught? I think we sword. Although Onslaught could get us out of this aggro start, right? But yeah, we will have... that's interesting. I'm going to go sword. I'm going to go sword because I do like the sequence of sword into Pretender into Champ on 4, casting a rune onto the sword. Oppo curving out aggro style on us. That's going to be very good for them. Maybe we go Courser now, because then the runes will be free. Champ as a 2/3, though, actually threatens to block, although we don't really have blocks because they have now the Warrior Pump. So, Courser... I'm going to go Courser, and then we'll be able to, with next turn with Champ finding the other rune, we can just throw around multiple runes. So yes, we're going to take a lot next turn, but then we should have good... Oh, and Pretender gets cheaper with the Courser too. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we can put one rune on the sword and another rune on the courser and get some life back. Interesting, they're just going straight for the pump, not even giving us a chance to block. All right. So that feels grim, but we have a good turn coming up if they don't... Come on, don't! Okay, whew. Well, that's interesting. Bound in gold, we could bind the warrior and play the pretender, although then we just still have a bunch of 2/2s for this. That's probably the turn coming up. I'm going to stick with the plan here. And we Runeforge Champ for a Rune of Sustenance, and then we can play them for free. I thought they were for free. What am I getting wrong about this? Oh, for one at least. You like the red rune for power. That's fair. I'm going to put it on the courser here. Wait, so then why isn't it showing as free? Okay, I thought it was free, and then it's like, oh, I guess it's not. All right, good. It's like... There we go, much better. Ooh, Demon Bolt will be nice, but let's go rune on the sword. Well. We go up to 10. We might just be dead on the crackback, but gotta go get some life. We do have a Runeforge Champ block on the Sentinel to keep our damage to only 6. So if all they've got is Pump the Warrior, we can go to 4 and have Demon Bolt next turn off the bounce with the Sentinel. Oh, I'm definitely blocking the Sentinel. I mean, the Runeforge Champ, in a sense, has already done its thing. Yeah, that's Bolt or Bind. I was looking at Pretender Bind last turn, but it didn't seem right in face of getting these runes going. But now we have lots of options, it looks like. Might just want to Bind and Bolt here. But let's bind the warrior. I like bind equip, actually. We can just start racing, right? Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of lifelink. So let's do it. Mix it up. Yeah, they have lifelink too, but I'm just trying to stay out of dead range. Kaya's Onslaught with the lifelink should keep us, as long as we're not like dead this turn, which I suppose is possible. I don't know. Let's see, what other overrun type effects are there? They can't attack with this. They've only got 3 on the attacks. Seems tough to get 7 off of 5 mana. But even Maya doesn't get it done, right? Another warrior. Powerful, but we're going to bolt that now. Got our bolt target. Warhorn Blast. They only have 2, so even that doesn't do it. Some different options here. I kind of like attack in. Maybe they try for a double block on the champ and we can blow them out. And then if not, we decide what to do after. Huh. Do you think they've got something? Well, we've got Onslaught and Demon Bolt, so this is probably not going to go well for them. I'm going to start with the Demon Bolt, because Onslaught can just win us the game. If we have to, we'll play the Onslaught if the Demon Bolt doesn't get the job done here. I think we're doing all right, gang. I think we're doing all right. I'm gonna go Berserker. And then we can Pretender and name Berserker, or name Dwarf, and then make Dwarfs with the Liberator. Yep. Mike saw that. Pretender on Dwarf with the Liberator is a nice combo. Good Vandal for Oppo. Let's see, we'll give you a...
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a
That
vandal.
one.
Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
And then with all these warriors, I'll find the warrior meme now.
Warriors, come out to play.
So, yeah, we're just still ascending everything. Trouble is we can't onslaught and liberate, but if they block the Valkyrie, we're still fine with that. If we onslaught something, I mean, if we onslaught the Liberator, I can do both? How do we do both? We've only got, this is 3 and this is 3. I don't see how we do both. Why leave Liberator back? I mean, the Onslaught still turns it into death for anything that blocks, right? You want to trade Onslaught for a 1/3? But, I mean, then we have dead... And then Liberator just starts to go to town. You just want to foretell and pass? Interesting. Yeah, actually, I'm going to say I got to do that or I was going to lose the turn entirely. I lost... I don't know if that was correct. I might... It's possible I was supposed to attack there, but I lost the chance. I lost the chance to attack because my hourglass was at 0, and if I had let it pass, it would have skipped my whole turn, and I at least wanted to foretell. I hear you, Siriana. I didn't have time to even think about it. Or I thought about it too long is maybe more the accurate way to put it. Now... I like swinging away here. We have interesting plays. We can liberate to make a... Put a counter on the Pretender, and then Onslaught to win blocks after that. That's true. I could have dropped Braggart first and got a counter. That was a mistake. 4, 5, 6, 7, but then 4, 5... Then I can't do it all, though. I want Liberator and Onslaught. But I should have done the math, because that was... If we had one more mana, that would have been better, I think. Let's see. This does give +1/+1, so really we can put it on the Liberator, kill the Packmate, and bounce off the Vandals. That's really good for us. And starting here... I know. I'm just... yeah, sorry, not a bounce. My point... Sorry. My point is the Vandal was not going to follow kill. That's... The main thing is the Liberator was not going to die. Everything else is secondary. But yes, we'll take the kill and blow them out nicely. double spell here, but not if we want to activate Liberator. Probably going to activate Liberator and play Braggart. And now we can Braggart first to get the extra Pretender counter. Maybe Warrior is worth it here. It's go wide enough, but we can at least start with, well, I'm going to play the Braggart for sure. And then now we can even play Warrior and just swing away. Like, yeah, we just let the Liberator die, right? But if we play the Warrior now, Mike, we can put another counter. But I guess we can put another counter via Liberator. And if they don't block this, that's fine. Right, it makes... Oh, right, sorry. A human warrior, thank you very much. I just was assuming warrior. Good call. So yeah, we're going to send in, swing away. I'm just going to let the Liberator die. I'd rather play the Warrior here and have pump, go wide pump for next turn. You like make a token? I like every single creature we have is lethal. Yeah, I guess playing around sweepers is fair. Yeah, that's fair as well, Mike. Could have done it with a token, I guess. Good start for our aggro deck. It really is. What do you want instead? What would you cut for a Frostbite? Oops. Oh, but free runes are... The white runes are so good! I guess they're less important to our deck because we're trying to be aggro anyway, but... Yeah, it just makes me want to put all the runes back in. I'm gonna keep running it. Funny hand, complete lack of creatures, but I am going to keep on the strength of Raven Wings into Rune and the Showdown being here. So we're keeping, but we don't have much. This is kind of not really what we're expecting of this deck, although it's not quite a typical aggro deck. Again, we don't have quite the lowdown curve we're looking for or the cheap equip. We got a Raven's Wings and a sword, but that's it. Hey, Cole, welcome, welcome. Do we risk Cole here? I think so. We gotta get on board with a creature. Yes, they might pick off Cole, but you gotta do it. Ideally, we draw a 3-drop creature here. Hey, look, 3-drop creature. Thank you, deck. Appreciate the listening. Here's one of our dwarf warriors already down. I think we're even on dwarves and warriors, right? Or is warriors more? I can't remember if the braggart's a dwarf or a warrior, or both. Is braggart? Should probably just pick warrior, because then I know that for sure, right? But I think they're identical. Like, I think we have the same amount of warrior outs as we do dwarf outs. But we do have a thing that is just a warrior and a thing that is just a dwarf, right? So it's possible we draw the wrong thing. But the warrior we have that's not a dwarf is the pumper, the boast pumper. There's our dwarrior. So, darn it. Really wanted another land there. I mean, I could rune on Pretender, but we really want to rune on Wings, so... Yeah, I really don't want to rune not on Wings. And Wings is 2 to equip, or that would be my play Radiantware. But I'm with you. I have finally internalized that Raven Wings in this set is 2 to equip. Because all the other wing-like equipment in the past has been 1 to equip. That's why your brain is doing that, right? Yeah, let's send in, and if they happen to want to block, we'll run amok, right? So let's start there. It telegraphs, and they have open mana, so there is that, but I'm still going to risk it. Oh, hold! Hold! What are you going to do? Vicious. Alright, alright. They got our coal, but we can go showdown here. Or just braggart. Let's just braggart. And then maybe ditch the run amok. Run amok, maybe we ditch the rune. It's just that we can put the rune on the wings and draw a card, but maybe run amok just gets us a win faster. And I'm being clingy to my rune given the wings when the game state says maybe run amok is what we really want. Rune draws a card, and rune on wings is very hard to beat. That's the thing. Very interesting spot. And you can tell it is because chat is conflicted. I'm going to ditch the run amok because if we do happen to end up going longer, we're going to want this combo, I think. But it's really close. And I'm going to go, because we don't care about our life, we care about damage right now. I'll do the rune of speed on the wings. Yeah, and they can go ahead and reanimate that. That's one of the reasons, well, maybe that's your point, but that's one of the reasons we want the Rune of Sustenance. You like Showdown, huh? I don't know. This looks pretty good to me. You think they're going to counter this? Maybe. Okay, that's pretty good for them, but we do get to swing in for some damage. And we get to replay the wings. And then next turn, it's nearly lethal. I could have... Well, we could... should we boast? Or wings? I guess we can wings equip. So I'll boast. Which means I screwed up by not doing it and putting them to 4. But better to not compound the mistake. Sometimes you can do the thing where it's like, oh, I should have boasted, and so to not look at that as a mistake, I'm going to play Raven Wings. Then it looks like maybe I didn't make a mistake. But better to just mitigate the mistake rather than pretend it didn't happen. All right. Let's try... Well, if we do Scalds, we don't get the counters, so I'm going to go ahead and Wings equip. And then we have 2 lethal... Well, I guess we don't have 2 lethal. How do you want to do this? Maybe I don't Wings equip. Yeah. So it looks like my mistake could cost us in the sense of giving them an extra turn. I assume they have something here. They got 3 cards and a ton of mana. So I'm going to put it on Pretender under the assumption that they are going to do something to kill one of these 2 things. Yeah, and it could be bounce both. I think we're okay with that if they don't have anything to make this bigger, though. Because then we can... Yeah, so it's close and totally screwed up last turn. They should be dead, right? That'll be justice for my mistake if they get us, but we gotta make them have it. Double. They had that makes me feel a little bit better. Means that my mistake isn't what the difference is here. But then we get Arnie. Yeah, Run Amok would have been a little better, although now we're stuck on red anyway. We're not dead, right? We have Virtual 5. Oh, no, we are dead. Arnie is not enough. So we dead. So a couple of changes there. Well, we can rune, but it's not going to draw us an out. There are no outs is the problem. The mistake cost us, but the double removal means I don't think we would have gotten there. The real mistake was... Oh yeah, Bound and Gold is our out, right? Bound is our 1 out. Let's look for it. Yeah, that's true. We got there here with Arnie. So yeah, it cost me. Darn it. Turns out sometimes you lose because you screw up. No free lessons today. That's a straight up Ryan loss. Punt into loss that could have been a win. Bummer. Yeah, it's the trample. Trample, if it weren't for the trample, we had some outs as well. Can't believe we let Cardor get us because of my mistake, though. That's too bad. No, Scotty. I mean, literally, if I pump before the end of combat instead of after and get that 1 point of damage in, then Arnie is enough to win the game there. So it definitely was a punt loss. That was a winnable game that I threw away with a mistake. But that happens. I'm going to move on. Got to focus on the next one. I'm going to keep this. We at least have some foretelling and then a warrior on 3. No red yet, though. Oh no! Someone outdoing us. You know what happened with the DRE. Pretty rough. That turn wasn't the worst for us, though. Gotta say. And maybe we can make the Ravager do some work later. Right now, though, I think we have to foretell the Onslaught and bolt the Raptor. Story Seeker is annoying and the lifelink frustrating, but the natural... I'm just saying it could have been worse. So let's do Onslaught, yeah, and then wait for them to move some equipment around, right? That's true. We can bolt this knowing we can ravage the lingering thing. All right, so now what do we want to do? We can still bolt the Seeker, I guess. But if we don't take out the Flyer, I guess we're always going to be facing Flyers because of the wings anyway. So I'm going to go with the Seeker. Now we got a Seeker of our own. That's not the worst. What can we do with it that's useful? Thing is, we need to max our mana. And I don't know if we do that with the Seeker, but we kind of need the Seeker for the lifelink as well. Well, that's why I say, I mean, yeah, we can play it, but it doesn't use our mana well, so I'm concerned about that. I feel like we're in a spot where we need to, but I'm also in a spot where we need to gain life. Dwarf Cleric and Dwarf Warrior mean that Ravager could eventually do some work here. So, all right, let's start with Braggart. But yeah, Onslaught and Amok could really bail us out with the Seeker, but I'm going to get the Seeker next turn. At 12 life, with them low on cards, if this is Gasoline here, we could be in major trouble. But if really all they've got is the 4/4 Flyer, we can get there. Yeah, we absolutely have to play Seeker this turn. But I was saying we were able to hold off on it last turn. But now we get Seeker Warrior, which should be good. Can't increase the size of the Braggart here over getting 2 bodies down. All right, next turn, we have a potential a 6/6 double strike lifelink if they don't do that. If they don't do that exact thing. However, we get some. It's not over yet, apparently, thanks to the champ. The champ is here. Do we have lethal? How do we have? Oh, maybe I should pay attention. Maybe we're already lethal. With Run Amok, Onslaught, and Braggart, we get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16, 17, 18. Close. I count 18. Good call, though. I didn't even look because I figured we weren't that close to 19. But yeah, good call that we can actually do 18 here. But instead, we're going to have to get some lifelink off of our Runeforge champ. Do you think Warrior Boast got us there? But we can't Warrior Boast. Oh, maybe we could. Oh, yeah, I guess we did have it. Oops, sorry. Hopefully we don't lose this one, too, because you're right, True. I think we did have it. Anyway, let's go with Rune on to the... Oh, isn't it 1 rather than the... Right, so I want to pay 1. And I want to pay red. There, okay. Just confused again. My usual state. Wait, did they... Oh, sorry. They didn't block. All right, so we got to do this now. Darn it, I keep missing some winning lines. I guess Magic is hard. Gonna have to forgive myself. Okay, 6 mana. We have Dwarf, Warrior, Dwarf. So we got 3, so none of these are going to kill the Raptor outright. So Arnie and C? Yeah, Ravagers hit straights for 3. That's fair too. But we can send all. And we look pretty good. I'm going to try it. Reading where it says, wait, we 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We win, so we make them do something. Yeah. Let's let them react first. Don't be dumb, Ryan. You want to make sure, you know, figure out what's lethal, and this is exactly why, right? I mean, this is magic for you. If I had gotten hasty and just tried to get there, we'd lose. Instead, we get to respond, and instead we win. Yeah, almost did something. Almost just like casually did something, and it would have cost me another game. So glad I pulled back on that before too late. Magic. The collective chat brain is a pretty darn good, if schizophrenic, Magic player. All right, on the play with Cole, and good stuff. One thing I've heard observed about aggro that I think is pretty true is that while often the decisions are easier, because you have fewer decisions in an average aggro game, just overall they are shorter, the importance of individual decisions is magnified. I just like Arnie go here. Gold Vein pick, strong card for Oppo, but we're gonna just, you know, they're gonna get a treasure out of it, and we're gonna look to hit him back hard the other direction. Could just showdown here and start accepting these trades, but I don't mind bolting after we attack either. Well, let's see if there's a pause. You like Rune on Arnie and Foretell? I like stopping this from getting any more treasure, but too late now, so I'm going to do my plan. Could wait, though. Might as well, I don't even need to foretell if I'm really planning on firing this off. Not if we bolt on upkeep. That's why I'm waiting here. We could also showdown if we want to give him another card. It's true. We could just do that and say, go ahead, have your mana. They're going to have 6 mana next turn, though. That could be pretty powerful for that. I'm gonna not give him 6 mana. I'm gonna go ahead and do my plan. Why do you like bolt on attacks? I didn't want to let him draw something to stop the bolt from working. Right, I was saying, but why not up? Why wait and not do it on upkeep was my question to anybody suggesting other than upkeep. Haste creature is reasonable, but is a reasonable concern, I should say. Let's see what we draw. Whether we go Showdown or Rune on Arnie next turn remains to be seen. Runing up their own pick here could be troublesome with this Firewalker. If we're going to stay back and threaten a Firewalker block, which I would here, I'd even put Arnie in front of the Firewalker, especially if we can... But we'll see. Let's Showdown here. Let's Showdown. We could send Cole. You know, it's like Cole you'd think is just like our linchpin. But I don't think they're going to block it, and I'm not going to block with Cole, so I'm going to send. And if they do block Firewalker with Cole, I'm happy with that. Because, I mean, we do have the Rune. It's not like it's Cole's doing nothing, but happy to offer that trade here. Because I'm going to offer Arnie, and then we're going to dump hand and put a bunch of counters on Cole and our other stuff. All right. Taking the offer if they'll give it. They also might pump. I was going to say, this could just go poorly for us anyway. We got some stuff, though. We got Warrior, Berserker, Dwarf, Human, Berserker. So Dwarf, Berserker. Well, I guess we want Dwarf. Yeah, so I guess we just gotta dump these. That's unfortunate, but if we want to cast these, we got to do it now, right? So, yeah, I'm going to do that. And let's go Liberator first, because I think I want to put some counters on Liberator. Yeah, Shieldmate for blocks makes sense. Let's spread it around. I like it. And then we can still send Cole. Shieldmate is a good blocker now. That was a lot of extra cards for us. Let's see if we can make it pay here. Oppo still has some good stuff going. I don't mind that bind. I just don't... I want to be able to kill the Firewalker. That's my prime concern here. Liberator would be nice, but Firewalker is what's getting us. Alright. And now we got a 2-for-1 ourselves, but I think it's worth it with what we've got behind. So I'm just going to double block here. We do get, while we don't get any more exile cards, we do get more counters from casting stuff, so... Alright, great. Like, we get to dump our hand and get counters for all of them. I'm going to start with the Bloodline Pretender on Warrior. And let's increase the size of that thing. Shieldmate. Pumping coal again. And then let's haste up the Pretender. And throw a counter. I'm going to keep spreading it around, I think, and throw another counter on the... well, I could... You like Shieldmate? This doesn't attack. If we do Shieldmate, it can't attack. And it still blocks the 1/1 with a pick on it. I'm going to go with a bigger attack now. And go with a Pretender. Yeah, getting coal out of bolt range is not the worst either. We got a Rune of Sustenance about to land on the Pretender. So... Well, what do you like, True? Where would you put it? Given that we are going to be able to attack with this, where are you putting it? Yeah, I kind of like coal for the bolt protection. Oppo on Dwarf over there. Wow. We're going to ruin Oppo's day here. Let's go here. And Pretender for the other one. Warrior, and this is on Warrior, so we can play this and pump the Pretender one more. And now, if they want to put a bunch of stuff in front of Cole, that's fine, right? So we're going to swing away. Cole can die here if they want to pile on, because then everything else looks nice. Warrior looks nice for the next attack. They need something good here, or we got this. Interesting. Doesn't really change, right? It's the same rune, so they drew a card. They get another... Okay, yeah, we got it. Well, we're perfect except for me. Our one loss was winnable if I had not screwed up. But win number 5 means... Oh my god, there's still coffee in my cup at 11:13 a.m. Seattle time? Unreal. One mountain, and this is an amazing hand, but as it is, it's keepable with the Seeker and the Sword. We're going to give it a chance. Mountain off the top would be great, though. I'd run Liberator out first, if so. No luck, and worst draw on our deck, a 4th plains. We want no more plains, please. All plains at the bottom. 1 mountain on top. Please. All right. Well, I don't know about all plains at the bottom. We got the 1 mountain on top. I'm going to go ahead and offer the Story Seeker, and we'll Arnie and Seeker. Next turn we have Liberator and Sword, although we can start to think about holding the Sword, especially if we draw more land. If we draw more land, we might hold this until we get to 7. But generally, this is in here to be equipment, and if we happen to have the mana, great. If not, dump it as equipment and get it on some stuff. Hey, and there's that Courser that is going to make me think about doing this differently. We can even... I'm going to send in offer both. I don't think they're going to trade for their Warrior, and then we're going to just drop the Courser to set up Sword on 6, and next turn we can Liberate plus whatever awesome spell we draw, because we're totally going to draw a spell next turn. Oh, wow, I could actually play it. That's, I mean, wow. I forgot that it would reduce this now, because we could go Sword, and then next turn with 5 mana, go Equip Sword, play Liberator. That's not the worst. So let's do that. I mean, we're 2 turns away from maybe getting an Angel, whereas this right now is just, like, really gets us going. I'm going to do it. Well, I think, Rob, both of us forgot that it was going to be cheap enough to play this turn, right? Well, I also asked the Magic Gods to put all of our planes on the bottom of the library, so we're not going to draw any more planes. That's good. Kind of both pushing life total back with the Story Seekers. That's a little funny. Extra annoying lifelink. Ravager is going to be great. We're going to pick off one of these Story Seekers. I assume we have Dwarf. Yeah, or Dwarf. Oh gosh, do we even... I guess we gotta play... We don't even have it. Are we... Like, okay. Dwarf Cleric. Human Berserker, Pegasus, Giant Wizard. None of those match. So this does 1. I was sure that on this board we would at least do 2. And yet. So I guess we'll do the other play. Yeah, let's go Sword on Seeker and then Liberator. If they want to double block here, we're down. I'm going to leave an Arnie back, and then it threatens the other Story Seekers. And if they do want to double block here, we're totally down for that. Oh yeah, I should have sent Flyer. What am I thinking? Sorry, that was just I was all caught up in my head about what to do with the Sword, and then I forgot my Courser. Not my best play day, but we're doing okay on the results. Let's see if we can keep it going. Maybe I'm supposed to even... Yeah, the thing is we don't have... So if they're doing this... Yeah, I mean, they can trade with Arnie, but we trade here, and then I think we're in good shape. I like that, right? Yeah, I don't know what's the... Maybe people think they have to do it in response to attacks. It really is weird. I mean, this is a higher ranked player than me in the sense of ranking, so you'd think they'd know. But you like trading with the Warrior and not Seekers, right? Because then we get to pick one of them off. Yeah, I think this is good. I mean, it might be just... No, we're at 22. They can't... Even if they pumped the team, we're not dead. If they save the warrior, that's a little tough. What we really want to do is trade the warrior, trade these off, and then Ravager one of the story seekers. Then I think we're in fine shape. Runeforge could even come down ahead of Ravager. If we Runeforged now, we could get some, you know, like more power on this. But we can also just Ravager and Runeforge next turn. Let's do that next turn. I like Ravager, get a Seeker done here. That's a pretty big game for us. And we do have 2 things now, right? Dwarf, dwarf. All right. Yeah, I'm going to send. They could tap down, but we're getting a big lifelink hit in. It's kind of a funny lifelink battle here as we both keep pushing our life total back the other direction in these crackbacks. See you, Molecule Man. Thanks for hanging. Oh, no! Appa with the good deck. Yeah, we could haste up the champ. We'll see. A lot of things could happen next turn. Might need to haste up the Courser so that it trades with the Shepherd. Or we move the sword over to the Courser. That could work too. Could just trade the Ravager off for this. It's not going to be doing much else. Liberator could make us some more stuff, and we could put equipment on it to make it better. So, yeah, I could also trade the Liberator off, but I think the Liberator has more value for us from here than the Basalt Ravager. They both trade with everything, right? But this one makes extra stuff. So I'm going to trade the Ravager, even though it's a bigger creature. Because it doesn't do anything else. Liberator does something. Runeforge. Yeah, but I'm gonna... Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna go Runeforge, get... Lifelink rune for the sword. He was supposed to attack first, but we'll go Larber. Sustenance rune. And let's see, what do we have for 1 mana? Do we have anything for 1 mana? No, so what we leave up doesn't matter. Oh, rune is free, right? Sorry, it confuses me when it doesn't show it there. So let's, yeah, let's go looking for free then. Very confusing UI there. And now we can actually move the equip, so cool. If they want to trade off the Shepherd, that's fine. And then we got good stuff from there, thanks to the equip moving around. I think they got a trade, right? Yeah, that's true. The planes are now reshuffled. Oh well, no longer at the bottom of the library. Pretty happy with these race conditions, so Just gonna take. Well, Cole, I was worried about all the destroy attackers that they could have with the Foretell, but Cole is nice because then we can, we'll save it. I was gonna make a Liberator token, but Cole and Equip is looking a lot better. Yeah, we'll equip the Champ. Question is, do we want to send the Seeker as well? Offer the Seeker for the Cav? I think so. And you don't like offering the Seeker? We're winning on lifelink, yeah. Mike says no. Gadanmore says yes. I'll go with my gut and make the offer. But I'm not going to offer the Liberator yet. That's fair, although this Runeforge Champ didn't have lifelink inherently, so that was one consideration. All right, so... more... yeah, we just go Raven Wings. Yeah, Liberator, I guess, is where it belongs. Yeah, we have plenty of life, so we'll go Liberator now. They're pausing. Could be the Cavalry tap. That's fair. They got something's up here, but let's see what they've got. Playing around Doomscar at this point? I think at where we're at, we play around Doomscar now and leave the Cav in hand. Do you agree? Could even move the Raven Wings over to the Seeker. Yeah, that's true. I guess our equipment plays around it, so it doesn't really matter. All right, I'm going to do it, actually. That's fair. Doomscar with Cole out is fine for us, so I'm going to play the Cav. Because they could get wide enough to stop us from winning next turn, so it was worth it. Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to play around Doomscar. I'm not going to play around them picking off Cole and then Doomscarring. I mean, I'm just not. They can... get there on that, and we'll just take this and hope that, I guess, yeah, they're just trying to get a bunch of life. This is fine. Sexy double treasure, I like that. But we got a sexy run-amuck that's gonna beat your face in. They block the Champ, we run amok and trample? Well, anything they block, we... Okay, they didn't have to show them. Wow, this deck has really only stumbled when I did. Hey, look at that, we made Diamond. I run 4 accounts, but we got one of them to Diamond. Yeah, we took Runeforged Champ Pack 1 Pick 1 over Sarulf's Packmate. I think they're both super powerful cards, but we hadn't really done the Champ thing, and it's fun to take Pack 1 Pick 1 and give yourself a chance to build around. We did, and it's working. Is it a lot of accounts? It's the only number that I need. Goblin Goon, if you haven't been around here, I recommend multiple accounts because it lets you switch off of your main account after you've won 4 times and go to a side account and generate more gold to get free drafts out of it. The only real downside is it affects your main account's ability to rank up, and it affects your collection building across all accounts, but for someone heavy limited players, it's totally worth it. We're going to keep this. But I don't think that's particularly unusual, East. East is suggesting we got kind of lucky to first pick a champ and then have 4 runes available to us, but 2 of them wheeled. I mean, the red rune wheeled twice. I mean, I think there's and we passed on some that we could have taken. Exactly, Goblin Goon. People around here who've picked up on that basically don't pay to draft. If you multi-account, if you're a heavy drafter and you multi-account, you can kind of stop paying to draft. 4 on color may be better than average, yes. Well, no, it would be 5. No, it'd be a little more. It's 1 point. I think there's a 0.9 chance of any given uncommon showing up in a draft, so it's about 5 on average. That's fair. Let's go with Cav here over Sword. Looks like we're up against...
Come on, Berserker. Girls think sexy.
My love for you is like a truck berserker.
Thank you for the sub. Getting beat down by stupid old raiders here. Double Cinderheart Giant in the graveyard screams that next turn is going to involve the Cardor saga. Like, anybody want to bet 2 Cinderheart Giants in the graveyard? Now, of course, there's 7, which could be why they pitch them, but I am so expecting Cardor next turn. So given that, we're going to save Bound in Gold for the eventual return target. And what do we want him to pick off here? Maybe we just go Pretender on Warrior. And then if they pick that off, we want the Courser is what I'm thinking. And we could even offer for the Raider... But I think I'll stay back and potentially offer on D here. Yeah, I'm going to offer a trade here where... Oops. No. I'm going to go ahead and offer a Cav for a Raider. Yeah, Trick or Raider is fine there. Maybe should have made that block the first time, really. Ah, Calamity Bearer. Well, good news, everybody. It wasn't Cardor. Bad news, everybody. It's a Calamity Bearer. Good news, everybody. We've got a Bound in Gold we can use on it. And I'm going to do that now because this is an outrageous magical card. Peggy would allow double next turn, but I'm not going to mess around. Yeah, we could Courser Sword, but do you want to? I just want to bind the Bearer. I mean, we could take 6, I guess. I mean, we could take a big hit next turn and it wouldn't be the end of it. But we... Yeah, I guess... Well, I mean, if we Courser now, we shave off mana here and mana here, so it really does help us cast more stuff. And we don't care that much about our life total. I'm convincing myself, actually, that we should do it this way. I get it. We could be taking 12, but even that's not dead, right, Pablo? And then we bind it, and we get a 2-for-1 because they've already used an extra spell on it. Another spot where we can just give up the Pretender for the damage, which I kind of like. I mean, I guess we have double Warrior coming. Maybe that's being a little greedy. I'll say no blocks. We may be losing to some combo-y cards. We're up against a number 371 Mythic, but there's not much we can play around either. So I'm going to let them have this, see what they do, and know that we can bind in gold. And if we draw a land, we can even Warrior or equip next turn. If we get a Warrior out, the Pretender gets to blocking Raider level. Wow, okay, I'm going to risk it for Le Biscuit. Hey, we got there. And I'm going to keep both back, and I'm totally willing to trade off both, I think, at this point. Although we're close to, with Cole and Equip, you know, maybe I should trade the Pretender but not the Courser. Anyway, what do you think? Are we... Mike says we should happily trade. Are you happily trading the Courser? You want to trade both off? Trade both off. Our first spell next turn doesn't get a counter on anything. I think we only want to trade one off. I'm going to send the Courser. Again, it's somewhat high risk. We could lose to a single removal spell. You say we gotta trade. I don't necessarily think so. Okay, I won't send, but I don't know if we are going to block. It's really bad to not get any counter off our first showdown. I really would like to get a counter here. Well, good thing we didn't go for it, because that would have just straight killed us. As it is, we're going to have to let them go to... we're going to have to trade here. And I like go to 2. You want to go to 4 and lose both our creatures? What does that really do for us? It saves 2 life? Maybe that's enough to keep us alive, but... We wait, we can put a counter on this, and then this just eats the Raider. And we get equip and stuff? And we're going to have 6 mana. What are we doing with that 6 mana? Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, alright, I guess I've got to do it this way, but I don't love it. Demon Bolt is probably the play. We can go Arnie, Bolt, attack, but then we lose Cole. We can also go Arnie, Cole. We're definitely doing this, right? If we don't cast these now, we never get them again. I guess Arnie blocks Bergie, so let's Cole Arnie, and then look to block with Arnie. Raiders have been doing work for Oppo this game. They've gotten 3 rummages, 2 big guys they couldn't cast, and a mire. So, like, we'd probably just be running away with this if these were just bears, right? Of course, if they were bears, they might not have drafted and played them, but I'm just saying. the rummaging has really mattered. Double Boaster. Ugh, brutal. Brutal for them to refill. But their hand is now known, and we get to cast a couple of spells here. Braggart plus... Well, actually, Braggart plus Warrior, and then have Bolt for next turn makes some sense to me. Although we can just Bolt this thing now and be in really good shape in that way, so maybe I should do that. Like, on the one hand, getting Cole big helps. On the other hand, I would rather block with other stuff. So I'm going to go Arnie. And yeah, I think we should just Bolt now. Yeah, we could equip too. Equipping is not the worst. We know what there is in hand. We don't know what they're drawing. Double Boast doesn't do anything. Yeah, equip misses a counter. I think it's Warrior or Bolt then. And Bolt is the safest. Although we may want to Bolt the Firewalker. We could Warrior and put a counter on Arnie, and then it blocks Bergie. I'm gonna go this before I lose my opportunity. All right, that was very good, and we even get Wings, Equip, and Bolt. We can do all this. We can do Sword, Equip, and Bolt instead if we want. Wings starts flying, though. Yeah, I guess for a Find on the Ground, we can just start sending in the air, but if we send the Braggart, it even can come back and block. So maybe right now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to block with the one that is equipped, so Cole will send it back if they do anything here. I assume this is Desperation, go look for something. We'll see. They didn't send anything else. Solid turn from the Firewalker. But now I like, we'll play the land. I guess I like, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can equip, Boast, and Bolt, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, we could send Arnie too. That would be pretty big, especially with the Bolt. But I like the defense we have down here. I think just sticking with the Braggart play is fine. Yeah, it's my favorite furry buddy, Rocket. Hey, Rocket! And let's not wait till upkeep. Let's just kill this thing now. They gotta stop the Braggart or they're dead. Did we get there? Hokey smokes. Well, they got pauses. I don't see anything on board that creates that pause. So what about Rune on, like, Arnie? And that's a couple of real problems here. Oh, hello. Hello. Let's put it on the wings. Nothing else, though. All right, got some life back. It's okay that they got our big flyer because we have the ability to just keep throwing it around. And exile was big for them, though. We didn't get the coal ability. Let's put the wings on Champ. It's the biggest, and it's the thing that if it died, we'd want to get back. Hey, baby. What a run. The only thing that cost me was me. Nice. Super profit. Max win. What shouldn't have happened? It might do, yeah. Does it do last known info or something? I don't know. Last known always confuses the heck out of me. But why would it do last known when there are other creatures to check? I don't know. Did it have, maybe it had, is because it had counters on it and it, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, power was already 5. Maybe it counts itself. Oh, well. All I know is 7 wins. Wow, we've had a good week. 6 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins. No surprise that we've suddenly hit Diamond going 6 wins, 6 wins, 7 win in 3 days. There you go. We have also figured out the Arnie mystery. It does not count itself. I didn't decline, though. I said yes, probably incorrectly or something, but... Well, I'll let that mystery linger for now and claim this prize. Go open some packs. Let's open some packs. Look at all these packs. We'll open all of them. Count the gems. 20. 40. Mythic. 60. It doesn't give you open all because it gives you open 10, but only if you have 10 or more. 80. Used to have open all, but it's a more complicated feature than open 10. 100. 120. yeah, it's a reasonable time to talk about it. So here we are getting all these sweet gems, right? Unless we get our mythics. Here, let's get a gem open here. Wait, am I on 120 or 140? Are we 120 or 140? Okay, well, we'll pause here for a second at 140. And I'm going to speak to a question Jim had. I was indicating that when this happens to you, when you get to the point where your booster packs, your prize boosters are opening up into 20 gems, it is my suggestion that you stop drafting that set on that account and instead go draft it on a side account where it doesn't even matter. Just go draft it on a side account. And Jim was like, why? Aren't we really happy to get gems out of packs? Isn't that a good thing? Yeah, sure, it's a good thing, but it's not as good as having a huge bankroll of gold for the next set. So the way I would look at it, Jim, is right now, a booster pack of this set is worth 22.5 gems to me, because 7 out of 8 times it's going to be 20 gems, and 1 out of 8 times it's going to be 40 gems, right? I don't worry about the mythics, but let's assume we're 4x'd on mythics as well, just for the purposes of the math. Because if we're 4x'd on mythics and rares, then these gem cards are worth, on average, 22 and a half gems. So then, Jim, my question to you would be, how much would you pay on day 1 of the new set for a pack? Would you pay 22 and a half gems for a pack on the first day of a new set? If so, why are we using our resources to create packs here that are worth less to us? So that's my basic theory, is that if you care about collection building, now Jim, if you are 100% draft, if you're 100% draft, it doesn't matter. If you're 100% draft, go ahead, start cranking your gems and cackle with delight as you convert your packs into gems. But if you are a mix of constructed and limited, and you like to build up the new set quickly, you're better off coming back to this account, and instead of playing limited on it, where you turn gems into a smaller amount of gems, the next set converts it to collection building. So yeah, the bottom line is, let's say I have the resources to enter an event. I can spend 1,500 gems, and we could go do the math, and I can go learn that I can spend... The other thing is, when you're not collection building, it is purely economical, right? At that point, you're saying, I am going to pay this many gems to enter, and because I'm done collection building, the only thing I'm getting out of it is more gems. And unless you're an amazing player, like better than me, you're gonna still be losing gems even when your prize packs are producing gems, right? So basically, this is my main account, and I do care about collection building. So the proposition to me is, do I want to enter an event where I am net negative on gems? I'm just gonna bleed off some gems. Or I can go bleed off gems on some other side account, and on this account, not spend any of my resources at all, play some standard, grind my gold for the day, and then instead of this account being minus whatever gems on the day, it is plus whatever gold on the day. And then when the new set comes out, instead of being down some gems, I'm up gold to use to acquire the new set. That's fundamentally why I'm saying when you see gems in your packs, if you're a collection builder, you may want to stop drafting that set and instead build up resources in gold so that when the new set comes out, you can acquire it faster. But it's bleeding gems. It doesn't matter that it's less gems, Jim. It's bleeding gems over not bleeding anything at all. Over simply increasing the stores in my main account so that when the next set comes out, I have extra stores for that. So it's not for everybody. Again, if you are truly limited only, this really doesn't matter to you. But if you're like me and do appreciate constructed, do appreciate standard, and you do want to build quickly the new set, then I advise doing it this way. and it lets you save resources on your primary account for the new set instead of using them to slow the bleed on your gems from a set you've already drafted all of, right? So there you go. That's why I do it that way, Jim. Your mileage may vary, but that's the reasoning behind it. That's 160. And that's 180. And then I'm going to stop on Kaldheim because it's the current set. We're actually going to get more packs of this and open them at 10. But it's even cheaper yet to do what I do to make collection building cheaper, Jim. If you care about collection building, it's the right play. We are done drafting for the day. I'm going to add another 180 on my grind for this one. Call this 240 on the grind today. 2,200 on the gems. Nice day of profit. No EV compares to the EV you get by getting paid gold for all the time you play. Having two collections doesn't matter. Having a good collection on your main account does. You know, my whole approach, Jim, what it does is it puts all these resources on my main account so that when the new set comes out, you can acquire it more quickly. In terms of the question, isn't the gold negligible compared to the hassle of having more than one account? I mean, I don't know, how much of a hassle is it? Mine is pretty hassly because I have different names and passwords. The way to make multi-accounting the least possible hassle is to basically, let's say you have your account, you know, whatever my name is at gmail.com, right? You can go whatever my name is at gmail.com as your main account. Then whatever my name is 0.1 at gmail.com, whatever my name is 0.2, you can just add, because if you put a period in Gmail addresses, it treats as the same, but basically that's not the same. Obviously 0.1, 0.2 would be different. My point is, if you name your email and your password similarly, it really does not take long to switch accounts at all. I mean, we're talking under a minute, 30 seconds to switch accounts. If that's a huge pain, I guess. I don't know. I just put out the the info. If for you, logging off and logging back in with a different account, that 30 to 45 seconds is not worth it to you, then don't do it. But I like to make sure that those options are on the table and you can understand the value proposition. But if you naturally play until you win 10 or 12 times a day on Arena anyway, I kind of do too. I'm getting paid 3 times as much as you to do it if you're on a single account. I'm getting paid 3 times as much for the same work, and it really does add up over time. You'll meet a lot of people. I mean, there are people here who can, any testimonials? Is there anybody here who was paying to draft when they were on one account, switched to 2, and then stopped paying? Because if you switch to 2+, you can just stop paying. And I really believe that there are people here who will say that happened to them. And that's mainly what I'm floating out there is a way to do this without having to pay. Yeah, I have 4 accounts and mainly use 2. I have 4 because at my most insatiable, when a new set like just comes out and I'm really hungry to draft it, that's when I will play to like 16 wins in a day. But I also, as I've said, I don't have a 5th account because, frankly, if I have won 16 times today and I'm still thinking, play more Magic, Ryan, turn off the computer and go do something else. Right? So I only have 4 so that I can max out. But if I ever max out, I tell myself, you got to be done now, Ryan. The fact that you've won 4 times on 4 accounts means you're done with Magic for the day. Yeah, and Bolt, Snap, Bolt, if your win rate is enough that you don't need to worry about this, that's great. Again, I'm trying to show techniques for people who don't have the win rate to be infinite. Yeah, Mike is talking about how, there's different ways to approach it. One thing, if you're really struggling, like if your win rate is low and it's hard for you to stay playing for free, really the optimal way to make sure you're being paid the absolute most per account is just to play until 1 win a day. I mean, we're getting into absurd side situations now, but basically your first win is worth 250 gold. So if you really wanted to do it so that you were getting absolute maximum gold at all times, you would have like 15 accounts and only play them until you've won 1 each day. But then you do get to the point where, like, at what point is the account management worse than paying to draft, right? But again, I do like to just make sure the info is out there and you can individually decide how far to take it, whether that's 0 or all the way, right? Thank you for that sub. I was yammering there and missed somebody's kind sub. It was Ragergo. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. WotC, if they could, it's not super enforceable to tell people to only 1 account. You could put it in the terms, but then it's not very enforceable, and I don't think they care anyway. I suppose if the entire Arena community who would get advantage from it started doing it this way, if I managed to reach everybody who would find it useful, and everybody who would find it useful started doing multi-accounting, maybe they would try to do something about it. But I imagine that we do not create enough of a wave to affect that. And really, they're happy that we're staying engaged. They'd like to get cash from us, but if failing cash, continued engagement is not a bad second place. Yeah, and as I said, Jim, if you're doing fine, you don't need to worry about it. There's a lot of people out there for whom multi-accounting is a budget-changing upgrade to their Arena experience. All right, good chats. Let's move on, though. Gonna find either a raid captain. I think, oh yes, raid captain was redeemed. Robert would like us to go visit Alex. I'm down for that. Let's go visit Alex. Also, Jim, for some, myself included, system gaming is a reward in and of itself. Some people get a little happy out of knowing that they are working the system to maximum advantage, right? So I'm a little bit that way. I have fun. I believe our friend Brian Wong of former Limited Resources fame put it nicely in his. There's a great Magic Online episode from Brian Wong in which he likens the efficient monetization, the efficient optimal actions in game to make your Magic lasts as long as possible. He called it tending his it's like his bonsai tree, it's like, or his garden, it's like he's just tending his tree. And even if you don't need the money, some people actually get value out of that too. Sometimes just optimizing feels good. And you can do that by going to cardkingdom.com via my affiliate links. All right. I'm going to send you off.